A few months ago at an auction, I ran across a chew mail pouch tobacco sign, an old vintage big sign, and I was able to win it at auction, and I resold it for $1,500. So y'all know when you resell something like that, then you are on the search. And I have not seen any the chew mail pouch tobacco signage at any auctions that we've been at. But I kind of would like one, like a sign for my own home to put out, though I'm not going to make it as large as the one that I had bought at auction. I want to see if I could reproduce a copy. So I have been on the hunt for something to make it out. And I didn't just want to make it out of wood. I really kind of wanted to make it out of metal so that it could be outside. Because a lot of times when it comes to wood, it's got to be treated, or here in Michigan, our weather is just brutal on stuff if you leave it out during the winter season and the rainy seasons. So that was my goal. So I finally found a piece, though it's not as large as I would have liked it to be. Sometimes you take what you can get. So I found a piece of metal that I am willing to sand off the image and create this mail pouch sign for you all. So here it is. Here it is. Lemons. It's just lemons. So it's just an image. I don't know if it was a transfer or if they sold it that way, but I picked it up for $7.99 at a Salvation Army. It looks like it wants to hang like the long way, but I'm just going to change it out so you can just put it on a nail screw hook and hang it this way. But first of all, it's super shiny and we need to get this image off. Like I said, it probably came from the manufacturer. So it should be easy enough to sand off. Now, since I'm making a vintage antique looking sign, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. We actually don't want it to be perfect. So I'm going to start right off with some 220 sandpaper and see if I can just get this image. It is raised, it is bumpy. It's got a very shiny coat on the metal. So we need to make sure that we're getting that taken care of also. Now I've got to do a little bit of work on the back here. First, take the tag off. I am going to scuff this a little bit because I am going to paint the back of this so it doesn't look like a new sign. If I left it like this, it would look new. I'm not going to, I can't, these are welded on. I'm not going to deal with those, but. I'm actually surprised how well the image came off. There's really not much left of it, but I'm just wiping it down. Dawn dish soap, hot water to get it all cleaned off, get all the residue. So I'm going to start off by painting the back of this first with some Rust-Oleum enamel paint in a flat black. Now remember, just because you spray painted it doesn't mean the spray paint has a top coat on, so I'll still have to top coat it. But yeah, it'll just be the Rust-Oleum high performance. I like this because I like it dries in 15 minutes, but within an hour I should be able to flip it and do the other side. As I said, the spray paint doesn't have a top coat in it, so I need to seal that in or it's just going to act like a chalkboard and show all your fingerprints. So I'm just going to use some of the Weather Defense metal spray to seal this in. Then I remembered in my stash, I'm like, hey, if I'm doing that one, I might as well maybe make another one to resell. So I have this board that I got at an auction. I know that you can probably get these at Amazon, Hobby Lobby. They're kind of, like a canvas-like, but they're not canvas, they're wood. So they have the same size. So I thought, why not go ahead and do two? But I need to do the same thing. I'm going to spray it up just like I am doing the metal one, where I start off with the back. Now that the backs are done, I'm just going to flip them over, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same process of spray painting them black and then sealing it in with that weather defense on both of these. So I needed something to make a stencil that was non-sticky, so I didn't want to use my vinyl because I didn't want it to pull the paint off of the metal. So I went to the Dollar Tree store, I picked up a couple poster board, and then I just cut it into 12-inch strips to fit, because it's like 23 for my biggest Cricut mat. So yeah, that'll fit my mat. The poster board's like 20, apparently 22 by this, but the 12-inch, that way I have a guideline of what I need to cut, and I have something that's not going to be sticky to pull the paint off the metal. I have my sizes here of my two boards, what I need to cut. So now I need to just go into my Cricut and resize some of my letters. So I was kind of playing around. Oh, come on. So luckily, like, it's a pretty basic font. So there's nothing really totally special with it. I just wanted to make sure that I got the letter, the saying, everything. I do think that maybe my lettering might be a little too chunky, so I might go in and change it a little bit more. That's the thing about the Cricut. You got a million fonts. Okay, maybe not a million, but let's see what that does. Okay, I'll just play and then I'll come back and share with you. Okay, I think I like that. I did the mail pouch a little bit bolder, and then the chew-inch tobacco, so we'll see how it goes. So I'll enlarge it to see how large I can get it. I'm gonna have to turn it because it won't, of course, print out that way. So I have to do the rotation. We got it rotated. I'm gonna minus this a little bit so I can see what I'm doing here. So unlock my size, and for my smaller one, it's a 14 by 19 and a half. But you have to be careful, because if you just like stretch it, you stretch your letters, that they're wonky. So sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's not okay. So even though I have my sizes the way that I need them to be, I'm going to have to separate it and cut it twice in two different batches, because of course the mat is only 12 by 24. So what I'll do is I'll go in here, I'll detach, I'll ungroup, I'll take this one and I'll move it. Oops, don't move that lettering. And then see, save it, and now it'll print all the wording off separately. Maybe that's not what I wanted it to do. So let's go back in here. I'm going to regroup those together. I'm going to group those together, attach, and then let me see what it'll do. So yeah, it's so weird that it's like, nah. So I have to move this one to get my spacing in between, if that makes sense. So actually I can go in and I can hit poster board. Yay! So that it will cut the poster board properly. Okay, we're all cut out. So I just need to punch my letters out, but I still have little pieces that I need to keep in mind that I need. Okay, now I need to start trimming out. I like to do as close to my letter as I can. Just helps me center it so much better. So now the fun begins of measuring the stencil, because it's not like you put it on transfer tape. So I'm just using some museum tape. So it's like a double stick. So it's not supposed to take anything off, just keep it there. So just something to hold in place so I can stencil. Now usually I would tape off, but I'm not going to because I don't want to pull the metal. I'm just going to use a scrap piece of paper, a makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree store, and like I said, I'm just going to go very slowly with some scrap paper. So we're going to do the dry technique where you put a little bit of paint on and you take most of it off. We have a fly that decided to join the party. So it's taking about 5 coats to get it to be white. And then we'll just see what it looks like after I take the stencil off. Okay, moment of truth. That's where the bit. Okay, now next is going to be a little scary because I'm just going to lightly take, I mean I do have some bleed under, that's okay. I'm going to lightly take the sander and flatten out the letters because of course they're raised and bumpy now. And I want to give it some age. Okay, I know that's scary, but and it took a lot of the W off, but I'm really okay with that. Okay, whew. Sanded, old. See, I wasn't worried about the under because I knew that it would sand and we will be giving it some age. Oh my goodness, loving on it. So I'm just gonna take a wet wipe off that sanding dust. Whew. To age it, we're going to be using the Gilder's Paste Wax, which is in the rust color. And I'm just wiping it right on. That's just giving it that. I've been out in the weather. I'm starting to rust. Hence why I sanded it. Probably you're like, what are you doing sanding it? You painted it. Well, we want to kind of give it the patina that it's rusting. Well, the Dixie Belle would take it too dark, and I don't want it to be dark. I just want the lightness of this. After I got it the way I want it, I'll go ahead and seal it all in. Because I don't know if that rust patina would last outside if this ever goes outside. Oh yes, on wood, I can use the tape. On the metal, it's not quite as forgiving when it's been freshly painted. So since I am doing this on wood, I am going to use some Mod Podge for my base. So hopefully that I don't get a lot of bleed under. If I do, it's okay. I always seem to be able to age it. Yep, wood acts completely different than metal. So I'll be here a while. Let's see what we got after multiple coats. I don't think the Mod Podge, because of having to do multiple coats, I'm pretty sure the Mod Podge did not really help out at all. Theory is good though. Okay. Wasn't worried about the bleed under or anything like that, because we're just going to age it by sanding it. Give it that I've been worn look. Perfectly imperfect. I'm going to use that same gliders paste wax. Why can I not say stuff? I know it's wood and wood doesn't rust, but it's a patina we're going for. in my hunt for the mail pouch, chew, tobacco signage, even anything to resell, I really couldn't find a lot. So, but I did find this print on Zazzle, which is a poster, so it's thick. And I actually enlarged, because on Zazzle you can customize your image. So this image of the barn was back farther, and then I brought the image farther before they printed it off for me, because this is the main focus I wanted to have to work with. So there's that. So, but for this image, I ordered 2 sizes. My larger size I thought would fit in one of my windows, like my large windows, the old windows. But it's not quite there. But I did find a smaller window in my stash, and I ordered a smaller piece. So let's see if this fits. I'm hoping that it does, or I'm going to be still searching for windows to put these behind, because these are, you know, you really want to put them behind glass if you can. I have put Mod Podge or the decoupage transfer gel over the top of them, but I really feel like glass would do better. So the hunt for old windows. Here's my image. You're going to get a little bit of the glare from the lights and stuff. And then I have one more of this size. Oh, it does. Yes. Yes. See, that was my main focus. I wanted to get, I know you're getting the light, but yes, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now, I don't think the white chippy necessarily does it justice. I think if I paint chippy the frame a different color of the window, it would be a little bit better. That it would really pop the mail pouch. Right now, your focus goes to the white window, and that's not where I want your focus to go to. I do not need these hanging systems on here. They really not much benefit to them, but of course they're flathead nail or screws. Not nails, screws. Flatheads. That for some reason are always a pain in the dickens to get out. When deciding, this side has a little lip where it would have sat in to something, so I'm going to use this as my front. I'm going to go ahead and tape off my window. You can see a lot of that paint is just chipping right off. Which I love some good chippy paint, but but now my paint color, I'm going to go for some red, and I wanted to make it chippy and crackle and age, so I'm going to use Sweet Pickins Milk Paint in the red wagon color. If you have not used Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, it is a powder paint. And then you just mix it up with equal parts of water. This is just a scoop I got out of something that easy to measure that way. And then just tap water that's room temperature. Then you can just go ahead and stir it for 2 minutes, making sure you kind of push it off to the side so you can get any clumps, stir off the yummies off the bottom. You'll see it bubble. It's going to be aerating. I'm going to try a technique I've never tried with milk paint, where I use candle wax to see if it won't adhere to this raw wood. So basically all I did with this wood is dust it off. I don't want the paint to completely stick extremely well. So I'm just going to rub some of the candle wax on, and we'll just see what attaches and what doesn't attach. I've never tried it with milk paint. Or maybe I have and I don't remember, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's been sitting for a couple minutes to thicken up, so I'm just going to stir off the yummies because it kind of does re-separate, get them off the bottom. The truck kind of had that rusty color, which I think is kind of what the red wagon has. So that's what I was hoping for to match-ish. Probably not a complete match, but I needed something for the back of that window, and I just cut a piece of cardboard. Nothing fancy because you're not going to see it. And then to put this on. So I want to make sure that I'm going to see the most image of the barn and the car are right there. Here we go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fold over because I'm just going to go. I think I'm just going to go to the bottom. We don't know. We'll see. You're kind of doing it blind because you can't see that part of it. So if I go to the bottom, it goes up here, but I should pull it down a little bit. Oh my goodness. Hard decision. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use double stick tape to stick it to the back of this. So I thought if I got part of it started, that would be a good idea. There. Now I have to flip it over and it cut off the excess. And it looks like I didn't get it on straight, but I think it'll be fine. Let's see how the chippiness did. Oh, I think I'm going to like the chippy. I'm going to like it. Now we have to seal milk paint in, and I'm choosing to use some aging wax by Fusion. I'm going to be darkening it up and giving it a old-timey, dirty, I've been out in the weather look. I love what aging wax will do to paint. Oh my goodness. Adds just the right dirt patina to the item. So I have never tried dark and decrepit dust. Decrepit. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to add a little bit more of something to this to give it a little bit more age. And I thought, let me pull this out and see what it does, why my wax is still wet. Well, that dirties it right up. Let me know if you've used this product before. I like what it's doing. Okay, time to clean up my window. I like the dark and decrepit, well, the decrepit wax. I swear I've heard somebody say dark and decrepit, but I don't know. Yeah, looks really good. I think the directions said clear wax, so. So since you'll be able to see this little piece because the picture will sit behind it, it won't necessarily be flush with the window like when you're doing a decoupage and it's right on top of the window. I'm just painting it black so it's not a feature that you see or that stands out anyway. Okay, one more time getting paint off the window. And then we need to clean the window really well. Okay, now it's time to attach. Just using staples. And I actually have to go around a little bit and cut some excess off because that inner piece is smaller. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Yes, when I was cutting my board, I cut it to the size of the window on the front, not the what was going on the back. But that's okay. We will just clean it up. There. To give it the more professional look in the back, cover up the staples. We're going to do like this brown paper, construction contractor's paper, as a dust cover. And I'm just going to use that same double stick tape. Try to get it right onto the edge there. To cover up that backing. And then I just take an X-Acto knife because I haven't found that edger yet that I have been looking for. Cut off the excess. Okay, finish up with the hanger. Make sure I don't have it upside down. Been there before. And a quarter. And a quarter. Where'd my little... I'll get it in a second. So that was a lot of fun making my own 2 mail pouch tobacco signs. I'm glad that I thought about the board that I had on hand. I'm like, I should make one for me, one to sell. And then, oh, that window with the barn in the back with the saying, I absolutely love it. So I know those wooden pieces, I can link them. You can get them on Amazon. I know that probably Hobby Lobby carries something similar. And the metal pieces, look for like a magnet board. Like IKEA used to sell those. I remember my kids had that. That's what that board with the lemons on it, the metal board, reminded me of. Oh, that was so much fun to make. And cutting out, you didn't necessarily have to have a Cricut. You could have done where you printed out your letters and traced them on and then painted it freehand. I'm just blessed to be able to do that on a Cricut. So let me know down in the comments below, have I inspired you to try any of these? Well, there's 2 projects, double of one. Have I inspired you to give it a try? Check out Zazzle, that's where the print is. And remember, I enlarged it so I could get more of the barn in. That was the focus I wanted. The barn was kind of in the background. So thanks for watching today's video. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out the channel for the first time and you liked what you saw and you love DIYs and thrifting and videos about secondhand finds, finding them, making them over, making home decor, please smash that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know if we uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!